Okay, I'm going to cancel out of here really quickly. All right, so let's see. So again, I'm going to bring this in so you guys can see, and eventually, I don't know where my thing is. Okay. This mouse is kind of giving me challenges here. All right, so once again, manage sites, okay, and then click on site new site, okay, call it lesson 2. You guys have probably already done all this, and then choose the folder where lesson 2 will be at, okay, and then press choose, and then go ahead and press save. All right, now you've got lesson 2 appearing here, and then press done. And now look at this. You've got lesson 2, site lesson 2, images sample 1. Okay, we've already saved this. Everybody cool? Let me know if you see anything different. Okay, so if on the right hand side under files, you should see site lesson 2. That's the name of the site. Don't worry about if it's saying Mac. I don't know why they have to have that. But then, you know, you want to see images, and then if I click on the images, notice all the images shows up, okay? So it's kind of like an explorer or a finder for you right there. All right, so this thing turns off. I should get a fan in here. This thing is, oh my God, I gotta stand up. Crazy. All right, just have to laugh about it. They're already getting ready to bring some students back in. We'll see what happens. Okay, so now the first thing is you always want, now in this, since we're learning HTML, we always want to create the container table, as you all remember. So the container table, if you recall, is about 1,000. Let's go ahead about 1,000. Let's do 1,000 pixels. Okay, cell padding is equal to 10. Let's do, give the border 1 or 2, whichever is easiest for you. And of course, you know, 1 row, 1 column. Okay, let's go ahead and do that, everybody. So what you're going to do now is, and if I'm going too fast, you guys slow me down. Okay, so I got the cursor here, and this is where insert comes in. Okay, if you have the insert column, how did you get the site again? Okay. All right, so you asked me way too late. Okay, so what you do is, how do you get to the site? How do you get the site again? What do you mean? How do I get the site, Andres? Can you go on audio and talk to me about that? You're talking about files?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what file do I select again?
You select, okay, so basically, if I go to manage sites, okay, I basically click on new site, okay? Or in this case, I'm going to double click. I name the site lesson 2. And then, did you create the folder right here? Did you create this folder here under lesson 2? Did you create that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and you have images there?
Yeah.
Okay, and you have sample 1 there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good. And so what you want to do now is, if you clicked on, let me go ahead and do it again. If you clicked on new site right here, do you have this? You see that? Okay, so click on, now do you see lesson 2 anywhere here? Probably not.
No,
okay.
Project Prep 1.
Okay, so I don't care about Project Prep. I just want lesson 2. Okay, so now click on new site, type in lesson 2.
Okay.
Okay, type in lesson 2. So as you see right here, lesson 2. And then click on this icon right here, which is the browse for folder. Click there. And then you're going to find that lesson 2 folder. Okay? And then once you find it, select choose. Okay, and then you'll have a similar situation as this. Let me know how you're doing. You have your own computer, or are you on a computer here?
Oh, I think I got it now.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Good to hear. All right, so let's... Okay, so next thing what I had us do is you can choose insert up here if you like. It might be better if you don't want it cluttered or anything like that. And below, remember, you should see the HTML already. Remember this icon right here, this text right here, is the doc type. You've got to have that. You've got to have meta character. It's not important. But here's a title, and if you notice, I don't know why it didn't do that, but maybe, okay, I don't know why. It should say sample. I thought I named it. Maybe I didn't. Sample 1 or sample page 1. That's kind of bizarre that didn't take. All right, so anyways, in the title, you should have that, okay? You can also write in title somewhere around here. And I noticed that, okay, so let's see, insert, I think page properties. Okay, so if you go to File, Page Properties, so again, File, Page Properties, you can also, over here, it'll say Title, and you can write it there too. Sample page 1. If you don't want, of course, nothing beats putting it in the code if you know the code a little bit. So make sure that, okay, so let me write that down again. I think it's called edit. What was it called again? Insert. No, I'm sorry, file page properties. So file page properties. Okay, to add title. And what else can you do over there? So if you look at file page properties, everybody go ahead and go there. You can see HTML. You can actually put a background image, which we'll figure out soon. Links, you know, the links, that's how you color your links. Heading, don't worry about that. But title here, you can actually add the title. Coding is Unicode UTF-8. And as you can see right there, UTF-8. What does that mean? I have no clue. I don't know. Don't worry about it. All right, so that's basically the default font size. Don't ever do this, okay? You're gonna be specific. My Dreamer is really being stupid. I'm so sorry. You want to, Michaela, you want to use one of these Macs over here? You let me know. You can use it. We've got over 30 computers ready for you. Okay, so press OK. Now, insert table. Insert table. Insert table. And now remember what we said, okay? If we took this out, okay, we got one row, one column. Table width is going to be 1,000 pixels. I really emphasize pixels. Don't put 1,000%. 1,000 pixels. Border, I'm going to keep it at 1. Cell padding at 10. Cell spacing, leave it alone. And then we got another challenge. Okay? Everybody got this? Press 1, yes. 2, no, so I can continue. Press 1, I can continue. 2, or no, hold up, dudes. Okay, good. Pressing OK. Now, what's the big problem? Let's do this. And you don't have to do this. I can do this for you. You don't have to do this. I'm going to get out the sample 1 page. We're all familiar with this one, this crazy. We should learn a lot. But you notice the way, okay, so a lot of times a client will come up to you, so here's our brochure, convert it into a web page. Okay, good, we'll do that. I've done that before. All right, and as you can see, you're familiar with all this. You've watched it. So what I'm going to do now is, let me see what I'm going to do. First of all, it's centered. Now, how do I center this? Well, there's a couple of ways. Center meaning the table, okay? So the first thing you want to do is make sure you see the properties. Notice in the bottom, I don't have my properties box, okay? So what I'm going to have to do, okay, so I don't know if Janet, you have it. Go to Window and make sure Properties is selected, or press Command F3. Once again, Window, okay, and go down to Properties. Okay. And you'll have this floating little properties box. You can have it keep floating. In fact, I'm going to have mine floating, but a lot of times you can have it merge into the bottom part. So if you watch, let me go and bring Dreamweaver up a little bit. You can actually have Dreamweaver, the properties merge, and like it, notice how it turns blue. You just kind of glide it in there. And I kind of like it that way better. Okay, that way I don't have to worry. I know where my space is. I have my canvas. And you know, that's it. So now, way I select the table, because I need to center this table. The way I do it is I put the cursor to the right of the table. Let it blink there. Okay, the cursor where it blinks is really big. And all I do is swipe left. And look what happens. I've got the table selected. How do I know this? The beginning table and end table is all selected. Once again, put the cursor to the right of the table and swipe left. Boom. Or if you really are having a problem with that, you can just select table down here. Okay? The bottom line is you need to have the properties for the table. Okay, so I'm going to swipe left. Okay, and you'll notice a lot, see, it'll say table right here. This changes. If I was to click the table, notice it changes. Just like in Photoshop. When you click on the marquee tool as opposed to the magic wand tool, there's different settings, okay? Those who just took me for Principles of IT, it would have been better if you had taken Photoshop. In fact, one of the requirements I really wanted for this class was to take Photoshop. And so because you would at least understand the concepts of panels and you know how panels and different options change. So anyway, so I'm going to highlight and I'm going to bring this back. This is the properties, table properties. Look at that, row 1, column 1, 1,000 pixels, cell padding, and align. Choose align center, and it'll center. Okay, we got it. That's your container. That's where your work is going to be. There should be nothing on the inside, nothing on the outside. Okay. One thing I also want to point out, let me go to page process, see if I do this before I ask you to do this. Okay, now, I didn't show you this in the video, but that's the beauty of lecturing. If you want to change the background of your page, change the background color of the page. Okay, once again, we want to go to let me go ahead and shrink down. We go to File, Page Properties. Okay, so go to File, Page Properties right there. So File, Page Properties, and then choose Appearance, HTML. And then choose the background. Watch what happens. Choose any one you want. Okay, you can choose like say, I'm going to choose something lighter, right about there. Okay, you can also choose something kind of like right about there, and press return, and then press OK. Okay, now you got a colored background. You got a colored page. Once again, File, Page Properties, choose Appearance, Background. Okay, click on it. You got a color picker. You can choose anything you want. Okay, I'm going to actually choose one of my ones that I'm really familiar with. This guy right here. Okay, so if you want to use this one, it's 4 F's and 2 C's. Okay, 4 F's and 2 C's. And of course, don't forget the number sign. All right, so if you want to do that. Now you're saying, okay, hold up. The inside of this table is now the same color. I want it to be white. All right then. What you want to do now, okay, let me see, is click inside, put the cursor inside the table. Okay, you see how the cursor is kind of blinking inside? And you'll have a different properties dialog box. See that? Complete different properties. I found that what we need is under CSS, not so much under although actually you can type in HTML too. See that? So everybody choose HTML. Okay, and then notice there it is right there, BG. So click on that and select white, and then press return. There it is. Now you got a contrasting color. And by the way, white is always 6 Fs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Fs. Okay, you'll have pure white. Okay, so let me write this down over here. White equals that. Black, however, is just the opposite. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so that's black. So just know that. Okay, and there's about a gazillion colors in between. Okay, everybody cool? All right, very cool, very cool, very cool. Let's go ahead and take a 12-minute break. Come back at 9:10. Where's the what? Okay. For the rest of you, if you want to take a 12-minute break, let's come back at 9:10. I'll go over it again. I am recording this though. So once again, if I want to manage the fonts, I click here. I click on the font. Okay, make sure it's a properties dialog box, CSS, or HTML. Okay, wherever you can see font, but in this case it's just CSS. I'm going to click on Manage Font. Here are the 3 options on the top. This is very rare. Looks pretty, but I wouldn't use it. This is if you downloaded a whole fonts, like there's a lot of websites that sell you fonts. And this is the typical fonts used. So what I would recommend you doing is, and I'll show you how to remove fonts. So say for instance, I got Trebuchet Helvetica. And if I don't want it anymore, I just click on Helvetica and bring it back to the left. Bring it back to the left to click on the left side. See, now I got nothing there. But I want something there. So I'm going to click on the first font, then a first letter of the spelling of the font. There's Tahoma. And I like Trebuchet. Well, again, this is a pretty good font. I'm going to keep it by itself. So I highlight, and I'm going to press. Highlight and press. There it is right there. And if I want, like, say, Tahoma, okay, I'll actually, first I think I got to do is press done. And if I want more, I'm going to go to press Manage Font, go to Custom Font Stacks, and this time I'm going to choose Helvetica. There it is right there. And then I'm going to choose Tahoma. There it is right there. All I do is press the first letter of the spelling of the font, and I'm good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight this first. How does food impact? I'm going to choose my font. Then I'm going to choose Arial Bold. Bold, there it is. Got it? Then I can choose the color. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the color, let me find you the color. If you really want to know, I basically in Google Doc, you click on text color, you click on custom, and typically there's a picker there, and that is the hex. Okay, so I copy that 0, 0. I'll put it up here. Okay, press OK, but I copy it. It's good to know these things, and a lot of times in Photoshop you'll find the hex number. And so instead of clicking with the text highlighted, instead of selecting, the color picker, I'm just going to type it in right here, the field next to it, and paste. There we have it. Okay, look at that. Pretty dope. Are we good? 1 or 2? Okay, good, Daniela. Good, Adam. Roman, you don't answer these things. I don't get it. I hope you're doing all right. Danny, thank you for answering. Yvette. Jasmine, good. Andy, good, 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 good. This is a small class, so it's a little bit easier. The smallest class I got, second period advanced graphic, three students. Okay, but so they merged them with intro, and so I have one going this way, one going that way. For those of you who have me for fifth period graphics, know exactly what I mean. I split the class, but it would have been better if they gave me more students for advanced, but not everybody's qualified to take that class. So anyways, now what we're going to do now is we're going to watch this, everybody. Let's go ahead and highlight everything here, everything else. Highlight everything. There we go. Now this time, let's go ahead and choose a font and choose any font you want. I'm going to choose Verdana. Let's see what happens. Does it work? Doesn't look like it. It doesn't work. Okay, so I think what it wants me to do is highlight and then choose Verdana. Ah, now it works. So it kind of wants me to choose individual paragraphs. Okay, let me show you a little trick. If I put the cursor to the left of the first word, in, and I press and hold a shift and click on the end of that paragraph, it's highlighted. Okay? Put the cursor to the left of the first word, press and hold shift, select the end of the first word, and there you got Verdana. You have it. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And of course, remember, food acts as a medicine is to be centered. So highlight that. And in your properties box, make sure you have CSS selected. Although, yeah, CSS. And then make sure you click on Align Center. Okay. So one more time, highlight the very last sentence, which is food acts as a medicine. Highlight it all. Select CSS. And then select Center Align or Align Center. Boom. And it is, now there's a couple of things here, if you notice, that are italics. So here the science and also this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Only this time, okay, first of all, let's start with the science, with the quotes. The science of the art of dealing with maintenance, health, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and type in HTML. You just have to kind of look. Oh, it's not here. It must be here. Yes, it is. There is the italic sign. Click on italics. Same thing with this guy right here. Click on italics. Okay, there it is. Pretty easy. Any questions? Please ask. All right. If there are no more questions, it was a great pleasure working with Mr. Tressel on this video. And the man is just passionate about treating veterans, you know, with the utmost respect. And, you know, so it was really, he's a Marine. We also have First Sergeant, who I fully admire. I mean, one of my very best friend here in this campus always supports me. We support each other. And I think there's another guy, Guara, Mr. Guara, who I'm not sure what I haven't met him yet, but for those you must know, Mr. Harris, Mr. Barney Harris. Okay, we still talk. He's over in Texas, and he's teaching over there. He's teaching auto mechanic for a trade school there, and so he's doing all right. We spoke over the weekend, and yeah, he was. Me and him, we were buddies. We would meet up for coffee. We would talk on the phone. We would support each other. You know, that's what friendships are more valuable, actually, later on in life. Okay, and it's really you know, but for me to have friends who served as soldiers. And they tell me the stories and what they've been through and where they have been. It's really enlightening. So Mr. Tressel, of course, got a huge heart, working with his students, special needs children, and that's just amazing, really amazing. And of course, the fact that he gives up so much of his time to coach as well. He's a basketball coach. Mr. First Sergeant is also a basketball coach, and Mr. Harris, all the stuff that he did. I mean, just countless numbers of stuff, holding lunch sessions, opening up his room for kids to hang out and kind of unwind. I mean, just you don't see that much. So that was yeah. So he was definitely. I agree, Adam. He was a great teacher and very much missed. And so kind of lonely, but he was my homie. When we went to Sacramento together, we just kind of hung out and we would eat at restaurants all around. It was really fun, and we were there for a conference, and so it was really cool, really. But he will be missed, and but I'm kind of by myself over here. The campus is empty. There's nobody here. All the teachers, I'd say, a good 95% of the teachers teach at home. If you notice. But I like to come back here every now and then just so I can center myself and feel at peace. When I walk in my classroom, I just get this sense of calmness. And so just love being here. Really love being here. All right, so let's go ahead and add the image. All right, so now this is where the challenge comes in. But please, as long as you have Control V or Command V, okay, the undo button, okay, undo, okay, which is Control V, Control, or let me write this down, Command V. Okay, you can do that. I think you also have it up here. If you click on the Help button and you select Undo, yeah, see right here? So you can go to Edit, Undo. But if you notice, it'll also say Command V. Okay, so you can, I mean, to me, just you can type it in. All right, so let's go ahead, and the first image right here is on the right side. By default, Dreamweaver will always add things on the left side. And remember, they don't allow you to align, okay? It doesn't align things, unfortunately. But let's try, well, let's first put in this image, okay? Before I go, let's try something, okay? Before we do that, let me think. Let me try something first without, I'm gonna put the cursor right here. And actually, I'm gonna highlight the food. And notice it's highlighted here. So what I'm gonna do now instead is put it right here. I'm gonna insert something here. Insert. There's a thing called div, D-I-V. It's also here, but don't do it yet. Let me do this first. And now I'm going to put at insertion point, press OK, and now I'm going to go ahead and insert. Notice what happened. There's a div tag that happens here. And now I'm going to remove that content, and notice that the div, the beginning and ending div tab. Div means division or it's section. And so what I'm going to do now is insert image, and I'm going to choose the first image. Press open. There it is. And now, let me see. I can now select. Okay, now I can see, this probably won't work. Please don't try this until I try it first. It's not going to work. There's no wrapping around. So never mind, it won't work. All right, well, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. So I'm going to go ahead and insert. I'll get rid of the div. So hopefully you didn't do that. If you did, just press Command V a couple of times until you get back to where you are right here. So let's go ahead and go to Insert, Image, and click on Veggies. Okay, notice how that happens. You've got this, you got that. So make sure it's highlighted. But if you look at the properties box, there's really nothing to support it being on the right side is where we want it to be, right here, with the text wrapped around. Why? I have no clue. I think they want you to use a different programming for that, but we're not going to waste that time, since all you really have to do is highlight the image, and on the bottom here, like I said, Dreamweaver is both up and down, okay? Both top part, bottom part. So now what I'm going to do is put in the magic align. At least it types it in for you, equals right side. And then just click out and click here and notice that's where it's at, okay? All right, pretty dope. Please save your work, Command S. And let me see something. While you guys do that, let me see something. Preferences. Code, paste. It doesn't really tell me, because in Premiere they save it automatically for you every 5 seconds, or every 5 minutes. Sorry. No, I don't see it. All right. Yeah, I don't see that it does save it for you. So you got to save it. You have to save every time you think about it. So sometimes we do forget to save anything. Okay. All right. Anyways, so just go ahead and file save. And all you got to do is file save. You don't have to choose file save app. And if you see that save is ghosted out, that means it's kind of already been saved. All right. All right, let's go ahead, and what I want to do is put the cursor to the left, to the right of the word disease. Press return. Okay. And now what I'm going to ask you to do is insert. Okay, and there should be something that says HTML. Insert HTML, and then go down to where it says horizontal rule. So insert HTML, go down to where it says horizontal rule, and you'll see this. You can also go here, insert. You go, okay, so you go to insert, and then I don't see it here though. I'll be character maybe. I don't see it. Hold on a second. I'll get to you in a second. Anybody see horizontal here? I thought I saw it here. Oh, there it is. Horizontal rule. So you can click here too. Same thing. So Janet asked a question. No problem. So let me do it from the very start. Okay. So I put the cursor right about here to the left. Okay. I press insert image, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose veggies. Press open. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go to the code. So I'm going to highlight. See how I'm clicking on it and it's highlighted. See the line around, Janet? And notice that the text, the code is highlighted. So what I have to do now is put the cursor right to the right of Alt. And I'll talk about the Alt, by the way. And then I'm just going to type in align, okay? A-L, and you'll I-N-G, equals, let's put in right. Align equals right. And then click in here. There it is. Okay, and by the way, the Alt tag, if you click on the image, is also right here. And you may want to write in veggies or something. The reason why they use Alt tags, the reason why they choose Alt tags, okay, Command S, is, okay, Alt tags were originally meant, okay, Alt tags were is for blind people or people with visual challenges. You know, it's a tool. So a lot of times when they create these machines, you know, they kind of read out. They'll read the text to them. So these machines can't obviously read images. So what they'll do, however, they'll read alt text. So they'll say something like, if we don't. So imagine me mimicking a computer voice. Okay, if we don't write information, our metabolic process suffer and our health declines. Image of veggies. And you may want to get more descriptive, okay? Colorful images of fruits and veggies. Lots of reds. Okay, lots of greens. Also, it's highly important for search engine optimization, which, by the way, is how you value a website. So that's how you do it. Okay, so Janet, okay, good, you got it. All right, so once again, you put the cursor here, right at the end of the word disease. I'm going to press return, then I'm going to press horizontal. Hopefully it'll appear. Now I'm going to put the cursor. Notice it appears in the center. You got to make sure it's on the left. So I'm going to click on the properties box, CSS, and make sure it's left aligned so the cursor is on the left. Okay, everybody cool? We got about 8 minutes. Do I have my other class here, or maybe not? Let's just do one more. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay. Now, before I kind of asked you to highlight everything and bring it back, okay? Well, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's go ahead and start off with the first. Okay, we want to skip this part right here. So let's just do one at a time. Once again, copy. What does food have in our bodies? Put the cursor here, and then I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to paste. Special. Paste special. And right now, it's still at structure with paragraphs. Okay, press OK. And I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Then what I'm going to do is, what I normally do here is, we're going to add table. I'm just going to type in add table. So this guy right here. But before I get to that, okay, I'm going to copy all this. Command C, Control C. Then I'm going to go here. Right click. Paste special. I'm going to text with structure paragraphs, blah, blah, blah. There it is right there. Now it's all set up for me. Okay? But I noticed that right here, what does food have to do in our bodies didn't have tagged. It didn't get tagged. All right, well, that's more our responsibility than others. So let me ask you this. At this point, are we good? 1 or 2? Okay, we're going to have a lot of practice this week on this, so hopefully we'll finish up. The big project is coming up, so next week you're going to be coming up with your own project, your own website, and I'll show you how to do all that. So I wish I can use Dreamweaver, but probably we'll use Google Slides. And so we'll probably kind of like start out with there, create a website, 1 or 2 page website, okay? Well, when we get done with this, okay? So we need to do the projects. We might have a small open book exam, okay, on that, so it'll be pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and highlight what does food does in our bodies. What does food do to our bodies? Well, first of all, I need to make this into an H1. So I can go to Insert, Heading, H1. Okay, so once again, highlight what does food does to our body. Insert, Heading, H1. Boom, there it is. Okay, so what I did was I highlight, okay, Insert, Heading, H1. Or I can do this, highlight and select here, Heading, H1. Then what I'd like to do is I want to give it a font. Now back up here we used Arial Black. Whatever you used, make sure it's the same. CSS makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to choose Arial Black, bold rather, sorry. And then of course I'm going to go over here. I'm going to The only reason I'm doing this is because the properties change. And why do I want to go there? Because look at this, the hex number is there. So I'm going to highlight and copy that hex number. Go back down, highlight this, and apply the hex number. Let me know if I need to stop right there to show you again. Okay, so the rest you can do, we got 4 minutes. Why don't we quickly format everything here? So highlight and choose a font. Okay, remember I said put the cursor on the left side, click on, press and hold shift, go all the way to the right side, put in a, give it its font. Okay, once again, click here, click there, font, click to the left, press and hold shift, click to the right, the very end of the paragraph, press and hold Verdana. Once more time, click to the left of the paragraph, press and hold shift, click to the end of the paragraph, press and hold, and choose Verdana. Let's go ahead and file save. Save it, please, and that's it. Have a great rest up tomorrow. We'll see each other, I believe, on Thursday. Okay, so this being Tuesday. Okay, so right now, save everything. By the way, so if you didn't turn in any work, okay, I'm not going to count that for this triad. So the grades will go in, but if you didn't do any missing work, I will not add in. If it hasn't been added in other words, I did give a lot of people who didn't turn in work zeros and things of that nature. So in other words, the grade you see today, unless you turn something in quick, is a grade you're going to see in your report cards. So, but if you just didn't manage to turn something in, no worries. You're not going to get anything lower than what we have right now. And so, but a lot of you are getting A's. The average of this class is about an 85%, which is super cool. Really, really good. So you guys are doing awesome. Unfortunately, the average grade should be an A, but some people are just opting not to do the work. So they got, they practically, there's a couple, and I wish that wasn't the case. So, all right, guys, have a good day. We'll see you later. Okay, be sure to save your work. Okay, independent study, are you here? Who's here, independent study? I'll just wait. Please log off your computers, by the way. Please log off, okay? When I mean logging off, so you go to the Apple, and then you press log out your name. So please log out. Do not turn off the computer, just log out. Okay? That would be greatly appreciated. All right, so give it a minute for you guys to show up.